Lots of waterfowl in this area. There's a river not too far, maybe 50 meters from where I'm walking right now. So I'll probably be woken up by geese in the morning, but that's just fine. It's that river I was talking about. It's actually flowing pretty good still. I don't think this river ever freezes over all the way. It's just too wide. Snoopy wants to go for a swim. I'm just kidding. He wouldn't do that. He's a smart dog. No. Maybe he would. Snoopy, stay. Maybe he's not as smart as I give him credit. Come here, Snoopy. You doofus. Well, this might just be a pretty decent spot. It's a bit wet at the bottom, but I think it'll dry out. There's a bit of a marshy area, maybe 100 meters that way. I don't think we're getting water from there at the bottom of this. This would be a really nice reflector for the fire. You know, if I could string a hammock from there to there, I mean, shoot, that might be it. I'm gonna give it a minute. I'm gonna check the bottom of this, see how damp it is. It's frozen, obviously, but that's pretty sloshy. I mean, I guess if I just have my fire down there, though, who cares? I think this might be our home. It'd be even better if I could string my hammock from that guy to this guy, because it's much closer to this heat shield. I think I'm gonna take out the hammock, try it out, and if I can get it to hang, you know, hug real close to that fallen over tree, that big root ball, I think that seals the deal. What do you think, Snoopy? He don't care. Wonder if we'll find anything. It'd be cool if we found some deer antlers or something. Maybe some old ones. He's crazy. Snoopy, come! Snoopy! Stay over here, come. Thankfully I kept my hammock somewhat close to the top of my pack. You know, anything you're gonna take out first, pack that sucker last. Alright. It's close. It's really close. I think if I stretch it, I can make it happen. But boy, is it close. No way. I'm like an inch short. Oh, that's a bummer. Not gonna happen. I think I'm just gonna fashion some, like extend the loop on that side with some 550 cord, and then that'll bring it closer to the center of the root ball. Anyways, so hopefully it'll be a win-win. Snoopy's having a blast. Good. The more he runs around, the more he stays warm. Alright, so there's a loop. I mean, it should give me another couple feet. Which should probably be all I need. Hopefully. Now we're talking. I like my hammocks relatively taut. That might swing me a little low, a little bit tighter. Oh, there we go. I mean, I need to double up in the 550 cord. I'm going to need to wrap that guy around once or twice. Or just make my bow lines longer. I think we can wrap it around. All right, let's see. Take two. Come on. All right. I think that's gonna do. I really like how centered it is too now in front of this big root ball. So what I did, I mean, this paracord is supposed to be rated for 550 pounds. So it's like, it's not like I'm that heavy, and the paracord didn't snap. My knots just gave way. So did a couple of bow lines, but then that made it too long. And so I had slack on this side. Just wrapped it around a couple times. I don't know if I ever set up a hammock correctly. I always end up with this slack, but you know what? I don't really care because it works and I like sleeping in hammocks, so good enough. I think I'm gonna keep focusing on my sleeping situation for now, get that fully set up because, you know, I can go one night without food. I got a couple hours of sunlight still, but if I don't make food, that's fine. But I need to be able to sleep in somewhere somewhat warm tonight, so I'm gonna get all my stuff set up in here, and I'm gonna focus on getting the fire set up. So, bottom layer, it's hard to see. Got a sleeping mat, nice flannel sleeping bag, and then just a blanket. I'm gonna throw over this deer hide on top of it, but I'm gonna leave it outside right now in case Snoopy wants to lie down on it. This is super warm. Nothing else in here is rated, you know, super well. But I'm gonna be sleeping with a lot of clothing layers on. I think I'm gonna be banking on this heat. I'll just make sure I stoke the fire at least every now and then. I don't know if I'll set timers yet or not. We'll see, I guess, how big of a bed of coals I can get before I go to sleep. But that I really do think that should keep me warm enough for at least one night. Snoopy's just going gangbusters. I don't know if you can zoom on this thing. Oh, here he comes. All right, well, I think I'm gonna now go track down some dead wood and start clearing out this area on the bottom. I don't want you know, obviously to be super snowy down there when I build the fire. I want to keep it somewhat dry. There'll be some mud down there that we have to dry out, but then hopefully we get a nice bed of coals for the night. So go find some firewood. So while I'm looking for wood, I'm obviously looking for stuff that's dead, partially because it's gonna burn a lot better because it's gonna be dried out, but also mostly because I'm not supposed to take live trees where I'm camping at. So, but there is quite an abundance of dead trees around here. Looks like maybe a windstorm came through, you know, not too long ago. I mean, even just this tree that my, you know, site's gonna be at, quite a lot of branches that we can cut off there and use, or over here. I did kind of check this out a little further, and it's really muddy. It's just under that first, you know, layer of frozen soil, it's just nothing but mud. I found these two larger logs that I think I'm gonna build my fire over top of them, and then just hopefully have my fire a little bit raised. It should dry out that muddy area, you know, over time, so that my bed of coals throughout the night doesn't draw moisture. It should hopefully dry it out, but I want to get the fire started now so that that process has enough time to kind of do its thing. Well, I processed that one log, and I tell you what, as cold as it is right now, I'm extremely warm. So I'm gonna try this technique that makes it really easy to break wood, especially if it's dry, and it takes really little effort. If you find a tree like this, kind of a V in it, kind of break off chunks of it. You know, they're not gonna come out pretty, but it's all going in the same fire anyways, so who really cares? Try and split a couple of these guys with the old beaver tooth. They're small logs, so we'll see how good my aim is. You know what? I'll take one for two. Heck of a log. That is a heck of a log to try and split. Holy cow. For the kindling, I'm just going to take the straightest log and baton it with a knife. It's a little bit safer and a bit more efficient too than swinging a big old axe. For your small kindling, it's really not best to do it in the snow because obviously you're going to get snow all over it, and then once it starts to heat up, it's going to melt and soak into the wood. I'm not too worried just because of how dry this stuff really is. It's splitting really easily and well, and I have all sorts of other wood that I can draw from that I'm not too concerned about it, but you know, it's best practice to not do it in the snow. Alright, I've got my wood logs at the bottom, keep it elevated off the ground. I've got some dryer lint, egg carton. These is just some dry, you know, grass that I pulled off from the top of this root ball. I got my small, my medium, my large. I think we're ready to give it a shot. Alright, we've definitely got enough wood on there now, so just got to give it time. Hammock's far enough away from it, but give this time. I'm going to process a little bit more wood. You want way more than you think you need for overnight. So I'm going to have a whole bunch, probably going to keep it right at the edge. It's actually pretty dry, so I think that's where I'm going to store most of my firewood. It'll stay dry if it snows tonight. That should keep it relatively safe from the snow as well. Well, I processed some more wood and then darkness came. The sun set so fast. It's only about 5 o'clock here, but I think we're going to get dinner ready and start cooking it up. For dinner, I've got a half of an acorn squash and a pack of venison steaks. The acorn squash I already cooked up in an oven at home. I'm just going to put it on the side of the fire. Kind of slowly heat it up in the coals that are on the side. Ideally, I'd be cooking over less of a flame and more just coals, but I don't really want to snuff most of this fire out. I'd rather just keep it burning, drying out the soil, and keeping this area warm. Snoopy, come. Sit. All right, go eat. Should I have brought butter? Yes. Did I bring butter? No. Did I set out butter and leave it in the fridge and then leave without grabbing it? Yes. That fire was throwing a lot of heat. Started to melt off this snow, which dripped down onto my jacket that was so wonderfully placed there. Dry that sucker out. I might put it a little bit closer to the fire, you know, maybe over the hammock. Might dry it out a little faster. Well, these steaks are done. I'm gonna take out that acorn squash and see how it's doing. Oh yeah. Yep. Doing pretty good. Now there's a couple of ways that you can do acorn squash. Some people go savory, you know, salt and pepper and spices and stuff. I tend to go sweet and just do cinnamon and brown sugar, which is what this is a combination of. Sprinkle some of that in there. I got a sweet tooth, so. Well, hey, if that isn't a heck of a meal, I don't know what is. See if Snoopy wants a bite. First I gotta beckon him. Snoopy, come! I hear him. Oh, there he is. Come here, buddy. Come. Sit. Yeah, good boy. Want to try some venison? He smells it. Oh, he smells it all right. Nice and done. There you go, buddy. Down the hatch. Good boy, Bubba. Oh. All right. Mm-hmm. That is how we like it. You know, alright, it is good because all venison tastes very good, but it is extremely chewy. Butter really does make a difference. Especially with game animals obviously are running around their whole lives. It really does matter. That's not to put you off from eating game animals. It's just that you got to put in some effort to cook them a little more so than a cow that's sat in a farm, you know, its whole life. Absolutely phenomenal meal. But yeah, butter with venison definitely makes it better. This is part of the top round, which is, well, to put it lightly, it's part of its butt, part of the deer's butt. And so those are the muscles that they're using the most when they're running around. So it is tough, but absolutely wonderful. Venison's a great meat. It's some of the leanest, darkest red meat that you'll ever have. Snoopy's wanting another chunk. Here you go, buddy. Yeah, this hide, I actually just shot this deer this past season about a month and a half ago. Maybe only a month. Tanning of it went pretty well. It's a little bit stiff, but it's extremely warm. It may sound obvious, but animal hides are some of the warmest blankets you'll have. It's been ironic, but this venison is actually from this same deer. Good boy. Good, lie down. Lie down. It's funny, Snoopy's like super hesitant to lie down on the deer hide. He loves like sniffing it, but he just doesn't want to walk on it, doesn't want to sleep on it. I don't really know why. I mean, presumably he smells that it's an animal, or maybe it's part of the tanning process. He smells the tanning solution that was in there and doesn't like that. There's something off-putting about it. Not sure. He's sitting over like He almost just sat down in the snow right there. That's usually what he does, is just sit down in the snow, but he'd rather sit in the snow than sit on top of this nice warm deer hide. You're a good boy, Snoopy. Well, dinner was absolutely fantastic. I wish I took that other half of the acorn squash because I have tons of cinnamon and brown sugar and absolutely nothing to put it on, so kind of bummed about that. But other than that, it was really good, and Snoopy obviously definitely liked it. And I think for the rest of the night, just gonna start collecting some more firewood and really just prepping for the night. All right, well, I'm realizing now that I completely misplaced my saw, which is not a great position to be in. You know, when there's this much snow on the ground, you really do have to keep track of your gear and just have great places to set them. I have great places to set them. I should have put it under this windfall, but I just didn't plan it out, and I was being a doofus, probably set in the snowbank somewhere. Snoopy! There it comes. Well, still haven't found my saw. I saw this big old log, and I was gonna haul this whole thing back and then, you know, put the center of it under the flame, and then as the night goes on, just kind of pull the ends in as it burns into pieces. Start moving this thing. There's a big old tote under there, like one of those like 27 gal. You know, I'm guessing it's like a geocache, but I'm gonna take a gander inside of it and see. Let me go grab the tripod, set it up, and you can investigate this thing a little further. Not sure what that is. The only reason that makes me think this might not be a geocache is I've just never seen one this large. Oh wow, no way. What's that? Yeah, that's not a geocache, but it is nothing that I want to touch. I'll just say that. Huh. All right, well, like I said, I'm not gonna show what it was, but I'll describe it. It's a 27-gallon tote, and on the other side of it it's cut open, and on the inside of it there's like some clothing on the bottom, and it's gonna sound crazy, but there's chickens in it, like 3 as far as I can tell. They look alive, but they are most definitely not. They're ice cubes. It looks like somebody tried to keep a group of chickens alive out here, or maybe they owned chickens, didn't want them anymore, and tried to ditch them and tried to be, you know, nice and give them something to sleep in. Well, they did clearly not survive. Or there's some other crazy, goofy explanation, but yeah, kind of really weird. A little creepy, not gonna lie. Well, I'm not gonna take this log anymore, but go find some other logs, and hopefully maybe my luck will turn around. Instead of finding chickens, I'll find my saw, so we'll see. This out. Looking for my saw. I saw something out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, what the heck was that? A little field mouse. He thinks I don't see him. Oh, maybe he does. There he goes. Kind of funny. Snoopy's probably out there finding a field mouse. Hey, Snoopy, come here. There he is. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. Yes, you are. Fire's going pretty darn good. I threw a really large log on top of it, so hopefully that'll burn for some time. I got the deer hide up there, starting to dry it out. I was sitting on the ground, sitting on it while I ate, so don't want to keep it too close to the fire so that it singes. But so far, this root ball is blocking a ton of heat for us. It's been really nice. Snoopy every now and then will come and hang out over here, you know, after running around in the middle of nowhere. But otherwise, this thing's keeping really warm so far. So far so good. It's actually quite bright out too still. I mean, the sun's completely gone. There's nothing but the moon and the stars, but I mean, you can see quite well. I mean, that's just a little glimmer from the fire, and it's really bright. It's funny because it's cloudy, but I can see extremely well still. I bet that there's just a lot of moonlight. We had a full moon a few days ago. I bet there's just a lot of moonlight breaking through those clouds still. Cool. So far it's making out to be quite a good night. Well, it's starting to get later in the night. I think I'm going to start getting ready for bed. The only issue is, you know, I was planning on sleeping in the hammock, obviously, and I don't think Snoopy could fit in there with me. Might be a little tight. He would probably love it. He loves to snuggle, but I don't know how much I'd enjoy it. My plan originally was to lay that deer hide out on the ground, kind of in this area right in front of the fire. And he just does not want to lie down on the thing. He doesn't like the deer hide. I have other blankets that I could put down there, but none of them are going to be as waterproof or warm as the deer hide, and I worry about him getting chilly overnight a little bit. You know, the car is only about a quarter mile, maybe a touch more in that direction over there. I might just run him home. My place is only 20 minutes from here. Drop him back off at the apartment, and then come back for the night. I think it's probably the safest bet for him. He's been having a blast. He has not stopped running around since we got here, but I don't really want to risk it. He's a younger dog. He's only about 10, 11 months. So I don't want to risk it overnight. I don't want him to get too cold, even if he's just uncomfortable. Not worth it. So I'm gonna go run, drop him off. I pulled that big log off the fire so that I can, you know, use it later. But I'll put that big log back on there when I get back. Just kind of conserve most of its energy. And then I got a big pile of wood that I'll start slowly feeding on there as I get into bed. I think I'll probably put a large amount of it, a large amount of the wood on it before I hop into the hammock. I'm going to try and find one more big log that I can put on there that'll hopefully burn throughout the night. But for now, I'm going to track Snoopy down. Snoopy, come here. What do you say, buddy? You want to go home? He's like, no, don't take me home. But I think that's just the best call. We'll probably take him home, drop him off. He'll probably just sleep in his crate, and then, boy, he's really still warm. Like, under this jacket, I'm just feeling like his back. He's bummed that I said crate. Yeah, he doesn't like that word. Come on, Mr. Snoops. Let's get you home, buddy. Whew. Good thing the old Chevy Cobalt is still here. Hi, Snoop. He's not happy. Does not want to go. Oh, you're a good boy, buddy. Oh yeah, you get those wet paws all over the seats. You're a good boy, buddy. Taking a couple of things back, just so I don't have to hike out with them tomorrow. Save me a little bit on the weight. Like a charm. He is just tuckered out. Snoopy lying on the Snoopy blanket. You're a good boy, buddy. You're a good boy. We're back out in the woods. I'm just gonna walk to my site. I dropped a pin where it is. It's really not too far of a walk, but it is snowing. I don't know if you can hear it, but you can literally hear the snow falling. It's so quiet out here. Still quite bright. I swear the snow has made it even brighter now that it's actively snowing, but I'm gonna find the site. I'm assuming the fire's died down pretty good, so I'm gonna focus on getting that relit. Oh man, that fire is dead, completely dead. Well, hey, I'm glad that I put that deer skin, that deer hide over top of my hammock, because it actually protected it from the snow pretty good. There's about a 1/4 inch down already. You know, I do have a tarp. Do I want to put in the effort of putting that up right now? Shoot, probably not. The hammock kind of wraps over itself, and that hide should keep me pretty protected from the snow. All right, well, I'm gonna focus on getting this fire relit. Yeah, I changed my mind. I'm gonna set this tarp. I think that'll do just fine. We got one of our posts there, and the other's kind of a log over there. The other two are actually attached to the root ball. And this thing is already collecting so much snow. Yeah, I think this is the right call. I don't know how much we're supposed to get tonight, and it sure doesn't look pretty, you know, the way that I have this set up, but I don't care how much we're supposed to get tonight. It's this is gonna do us some good. All right, back to the fire. Well, I got the fire going a little bit. It's just not taking though. It's not holding. I just think there's too much snow coming down, a little too heavy, and all the wood that I had was just at the wrong spot. It wasn't quite under the root ball enough. So, in other words, it got covered in snow. You know, the tarp is set up, you know, somewhat well so that it's covering the fire, but there's a bit of a side wind such that the snow is just kind of coming in through that side, I think, and falling right into the fire. I'm gonna stay up for some time, you know, trying to keep it going and see if I can't get it to stick. But boy, I think I might have to choose between keeping the fire alive or going to sleep. We'll give it another hour and see how that goes. All right, well, I got the fire going a little bit better. It's actually looking decent right now. And it's quite late, so I think it's about time that I hop in the hammock, see if I can't fall asleep for a little bit. Got a little bit of a pile of wood left that I'm planning on getting up in the middle of the night, tossing it on there. I'll probably need to restoke the fire a little bit. Hopefully I won't need to fully restart it, because that was a pain in the butt. There were a couple of good coals left that I was able to get it going from, but yeah, that was not fun. But it's going now, and I feel warm. I feel very warm, so I think I might quit while I'm ahead and call it for a night and jump in the hammock, see how we sleep through this storm. Oh, not really a storm, just a lot of snow though. A lot of snow. Yeah, that fire's throwing some heat. All right, well, I'm gonna jump in the hammock and try and get to bed. All right, made it in the hammock. You know, something that you don't think about, at least that this guy doesn't think about, when hammock camping in the snow, is how do you get in it with your boots on? Or like with, you know, because you got to take your boots off, like, you got to jump up in there, so yeah, that was not fun. You know, I don't know how I'm gonna get them back on without getting a couple of socks full of mud and snow, but that's a tomorrow problem, and that's just fine. And I'm also just realizing now that I put my pillow at that side, so we might be sleeping with no pillow. No, I'll reach over there and grab it. I tell you what though, I am extremely warm right now, almost too warm. I'm kind of just sitting on top of the sleeping bag right now, and this deer hide is really just the only upper cover that I have. Very thankful I put this tarp up, because otherwise I'd have a whole bunch of snow on my face. I'll still probably have some snow maybe on like my forehead, but I'll curl up into the fetal position. You know, so far so good though. Well, I think I'm gonna call it a night, log off for the day, and check in with you guys tomorrow. All right, well, good night. Found my pillow. Well, it's about 2 in the morning. I'm surprisingly not that cold, but my face Like, my whole body is actually not bad, but my face is really cold. I think pretty soon you're gonna get up and stoke the fire. Gotta use the restroom. It's just still snowing like crazy, and I'm getting a lot of snow. Where my head isn't really covered by the tarp, so I'm getting a lot of snow. Like my face, and the fire is melting the snow that's on the top of the tarp, and part of the tarp tore, and so it's like dripping down kind of by my feet. I'm doing fine so far, but I have a feeling that sunlight's gonna roll around and I'm gonna be pretty chilly. We'll see how it goes. I think I'm gonna get up here in a minute. Man, this is my pack, by the way, right there. There's at least another inch of snow down on top of it. That is nuts. All right, it's about 3:30, and I gotta pee again. But check this out. That's how much snow has accumulated on those are my feet. And if you're wondering, my feet are actually extremely warm right now. All right, good morning. It is a little after 5, and I think I'm just gonna get up. The fire's totally dead. I did not stoke it or add anything to it at like 3. I just didn't really have the energy to. But I think now I'm just gonna get up and start moving around, do some jumping jacks or something, and then get the fire going again, because I'm pretty cold. It is in the single digits. It is not warm. No heat wave here. So I'm gonna hop out of bed and start finding some wood. Yeah, I would say putting up that tarp was well worth it. I mean, that's the top of the snow. That's 3 inches right there. And I brushed it off a couple of times throughout the night. The worst part was it's just not large enough. You know, there's my head up there, and this grommet actually ripped part of the tarp. So like my feet were fully exposed. That's where that all that snow was sitting on the top of the hide. Nuts. It's still coming down a little bit, but very minimally. All my tracks fully covered up. You can't even tell that I was walking around over here. That's my pack. Yeah, I mean, this is where we split that wood. There's nothing there now. I don't wonder if we got 4 inches. I'll have to check what the news said. Crazy. It's beautiful though. So peaceful. Again, I'm telling you, it's like, I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but it's so quiet. You can just hear the snow hitting the ground, I swear. Alright, well, I'm freezing. It's better than I'm moving around, but I gotta get the fire going. Check this out, I swear. When my hand gets warm enough, move it out of the flame so it's easier to see. Look, my hand's steaming. Oh, man. For breakfast, I didn't bring anything crazy. I got a chocolate chip bagel that I already ate some of before bed last night because I was still hungry somehow after that venison. I'm just gonna put that right there just to warm it up. And then some coffee that's already brewed, obviously, but is mostly frozen now. I'm gonna put that guy kind of right there. And heat my doggone hands up. My hands are cold. I really was warm most of the night. It was just this morning when the fire was kaput that my body wasn't producing enough heat, and fire wasn't,
you know, kicking in to help. So, but otherwise, it wasn't a horrible night. Just a lot of snow, obviously, and with that, it was a little windy. Every now and then I'd get a gust of wind coming up by my feet, and that was chilly, but otherwise not too bad. So I'm actually pretty satisfied with how it all turned out. Yeah. Chocolate chip bagels are hard to beat. You know, I don't think that it's going to take too long to tear down camp. To be honest with you, I don't know how much I'm going to, you know, pack everything up in my pack perfectly. I might just walk a few trips back and just throw stuff in the trunk. Just because if I roll everything up and put it in the pack, I'm worried that the snow on everything is going to melt. And then everything's going to be wet and it's going to be a pain in the butt. But it really is only about a 10-minute walk. So I might just carry a few trips back and forth. Might be the way to go. Well, hey, the coffee is definitely not hot, but it's thawed out, and that's really all you need.
The fire's going a little bit.
There was enough logs still there and enough embers to get it going again, but that is the last of the wood. There is nothing left, so I might not spend too much time here this morning. I'm gonna stand by the fire and warm up a little bit. Probably take down this tarp, and then kind of go from there.
I mean, check this out. This is one of the ties that I used. It's just like a stump that I used for my tarp last night. I mean, it's not even visible where I tied that sucker. Yeah, you know what? I keep bumping the number up, but I'm gonna say we got 5 inches last night. That's my final estimate. I'll check the news and I'll let you know. All right. Well, this is all that's left of the campsite. I decided I was gonna take a trip back to the car with a couple of things, and I ended up taking down the hammock and taking that and my pack, and really I have a couple things left. I got the axe, shovel. That is kind of like a first aid kit. Got a little bit of everything in there. My tarp, and then the GoPro's over there. I still see a couple of embers. It makes it really easy to be safe right now because it's dark out. I can see the embers really easily. So I got to go kick that around a little bit more. But then I think, shoot, I think we're done here. The cobalt survives. Yeah, that's a lot of snow. Watch this though. This puppy's gonna start on the first crank. Battery run for just a sec. Oh yeah. Me and the Chevy made it home, but those roads were horrible. And this car, it may start no matter how cold it is, but boy, does it not handle well in the snow. Hey, buddy, you're a good boy, Mr. Snoopy. You're such a good boy. Hi. You got a toy? Oh, nothing in there. Oh, you grabbed my jacket. Snoopy, that's my vest. Oh, there you go. Now he's transitioned over to a toy. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. You're a good boy. You need to go outside, go potty. Come here. Hey, buddy. Let's go. back. I brought a metal detector because I really don't want to lose that saw. And I think that I can find it, so I'm going to take a walk back out there with Snoopy and double check, make sure I didn't leave any more trash or something. But also, really want to find that saw, so we'll see if we can't find it. Alright, well, I found something over here. There it is. Found a Snoopy. Alright, move, buddy, move. Whatever this is under the ground. Which, I mean, I don't think I buried it. Alright, keep searching. Alright, I've got another signal over here. Snoopy's found something to chew. I don't even know what that is. Something. Oh! Come on. How in the heck did it get all the way over here? I don't know, but well worth it. The old silky gam boy. Yeah, these saws are nuts. Super expensive, but super worth it. That's why I don't want to lose it. Awesome. Alright, worth coming back. Alright, well, I think this is my final actual goodbye to this campsite. It served me well. It served its purpose. It definitely wasn't my beauty sleep, but it worked out fine. I got some sleep, and I'm actually quite surprised that I slept as decent as I did and stayed relatively as warm as I did. It really was just a matter of about an hour and a half of being too hot, followed by maybe 30 minutes of being just the right temperature, followed by a couple of hours of being way too cold. But overall, it was a great experience. I really did enjoy doing it. I'm glad I did it because I've never done camping in this cold of a temperature in this remote of an area. Overall, well worth it and a great time in the end. I learned quite a lot. I hope someone learns something from watching this, and overall it was a good experience. And Snoopy had the time of his life. What do you got? Snoopy, what you got?